Hello, in this video we are going to get a little bit more mileage out of embroidery designs that we already own. What you're looking at here is a design I digitized. It's a PES file, it's a stitch file. We're not going to use any of the digitizing capabilities, but I'm going to extract elements from this design to turn them into something new. So I thought it'd be kind of fun to make a cowgirl wreath for a monogram. And so I'm going to extract the elements, the cowboy boot and the hat and the stars, and design a wreath based on these extracted elements. The nice thing about this design is the elements I want to extract for the most part are their own distinct colors. So let's just start grabbing them. The stars are all one color, so I'm going to copy them, Command C, and then I am going to paste them into a new page. But let's say I don't want them in that arrangement. What I can do is, hopefully the way these were digitized is going from one, completing one, then going to the next. Because if they are, then I can introduce a color stop, pull the ones I want off, and keep one. So let's just look at the stitch simulator, and you can see that yes, this one is completely done, and then it moves on to the next one. So before we get to that next one there, boom, boom, boom. Okay. We are going to put in a color stop and choose a new color. And now what that did is it allows me the flexibility to work with just one of my stars at a time. And you may be thinking, okay, why? Well, I'm not committed to that relationship. So now that I have one star, and I think it's thinking that it has more stitches over because I think I might have stopped it a little bit too late. So let's try it again. We'll do our color stop. Oh shoot, I didn't mean to do that. Let's go to the end of the stitching right before it jumps over to that last point, and we'll say stop, pick a different color, okay, and let's get rid of that orange. Okay, so now it's independent. Okay, we could just manually arrange these elements in like a wreath form, but if you have enthusiast, there's a cool utility called Carousel. And so let's say I want to make this kind of fit in a 4 inch by 4 inch embroidery hoop. I might want to make the width of my carousel about 90 by 90 millimeters. And then let's increase the count of these guys. So that's kind of fun. Okay, that's nice. I can choose auto rotate or not, but I'm going to say okay. All right, that's kind of fun. If I want to make it look a little bit less, I don't know, like less perfect, I can kind of manually move these doodads around a little bit and kind of make it look a little bit more scattered and custom. But this is kind of boring, just a star wreath. It'd be fun if we could integrate some of the elements, other elements from that design. So let's go back to the cowgirl one and we will look at the boot. Okay, so the boot is pink and brown, right? So we got to go to the pink. Let's just copy over all of the pink stuff. Yeah. Let's put that in a new, I'm going to do Command C, Command N for new, and Command V for paste. All right, our goal is just to get the pink part of the boot, right? So again, we're going to go through and it's going to do all this stitching, and that is the beginning of the boot is right here. So we'll put in a color stop. Doesn't matter what color. Okay, now we're interested in what is red. So let's get rid of the pink stuff. Okay, and let's repeat the process. So we are going to boot, 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 boot. But before it jumps over to that O, let's let's put in a color stop. Bam. Make it gray. I don't care. We're going to delete it anyway. So now I have the top part of the boot by itself. Let's go back to my Cowgirl here, and I need the brown colors. So let's go over to the brown layer. And I think if I just copy it over to the page that I was working on and paste, it's going to line up perfectly. Okay. We're going to repeat our little trick. Go do the brown. It's going to finish the boot, and we kind of have that ugly line there, but we can take care of that. And before it jumps, okay, let's add the color stop. Pick our color, light pink, that's fine. And let's get rid of the light pink. Now, if I just switch the order of the boot and the sole, I'm covering, it looks good. Okay, so let's Control A to copy it, Control V to paste. Whoops, I didn't mean to paste it. We want to paste it back here in our composition. Not this, not this, not this. Okay, go back here. So we want this and the sole, right? Just that. Command C to copy it, and then go back to our composition and paste it. Okay, so I might scale it down just a smidge, and instead of, I might use this in certain places, my cowboy boot, instead of the, kind of substitute. I'm going to copy it, paste it. Maybe I'll do 3. And again, I want to reflect. Okay, maybe. And let's get rid of that star that it was underneath. And maybe I just want to put another one, maybe up here. So I'll delete that, Command V to paste. So it's pasting another instance of it. And I feel like I want to flip it. Okay. All right. I don't know if I love this so far, but hopefully you can get the idea of what we are trying to do here. The colors are horrible. I need to work on that. And maybe the spacing, and maybe that cowboy hat, bringing the cowboy hat in there. Or maybe I need a few more of these stars to kind of make it round it out a little bit more. Okay. All right, that's not horrible. I think the hat, adding the hat in there would give it a great, more finished look. So let's go grab that hat. Same trick here. We've got the brown and the pink that we need to deal with here. And I've already split out in this one, the brown. I just need to bring in that pink brim right there. So let's do that. Let's go back to our Cowgirl word. And in the pink area, I'm going to copy this and paste it over to this file right here I've been working on. Okay, but I can get rid of my boot because I'm done working with that. I can get rid of the sole of the boot. I'm done working with that. And now I just need to, more. Oh no, that's, my hat and my boot together. I need to, I need to get rid of the sole and I need to get rid of these pink letters. Okay, let's start with the brown. We'll go to our stitch simulator. And we will stitch, 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 stitch. But as soon as we get over to the element we want, which is the hat, we're going to make a color stop. And we'll change the color. And just so we don't get confused, we will delete out the element we don't want. Now I just need to do the same thing with these letters here. Oh, okay. I'm done with the band at this point, right there. So let's put in a color stop. Don't care what color. I shouldn't be doing all pinks and reds because it's getting a little confusing, but, and delete. Okay, now let's select all. Oops, it still thinks that I have some element over there. Now which one is it? It's the hat. Okay, let's go back, and we just need to do a stop a little bit sooner before it makes that jump. Okay. Oh, it went to do. All right, so let's put in the color stop. Really different color here, and delete that out. Now, if I take all, it still thinks there's something over there. It must be a problem with the band. So let's look at how that's stitching out. When is it jumping over to that side of the... Okay, if we select the hat still has elements over there. Maybe it's at the beginning of when we started to draw the hat where we have the problem. Maybe it's starting over there. So as soon as I begin, let's just start at one stitch in, create the color stop, make it brown, okay, and then let's get rid of this element over there. Now, okay, perfect. Perfect. Okay, so now I have my hat. I'm going to do Command A to copy it, to select all, then copy it, and then I'm going to go over to my composition and do Command V. Okay, so let's scale that down just a smidge. And since I'm going to want it here, let's delete our star. Okay. Copy, paste, maybe we'll put the hat down here and flip it. Flip it that way. Oh, do I not have it selected? Flip it. Okay. And of course I can get rid of the star that's underneath there. And let's do one more. Copy and pasted it, and I'm going to put it over here, but let's get rid of this star. And okay, now my red doesn't really match of the cowboy boots, so let's take anything that's red. So I'm going to use Command to select all of them. Well, I might have to change, and I'm going to go to my color palette and pick pink. Okay, and that's great. I have a bunch of different browns, so let's make that consistent. I'm going to select all of my hats. Okay, and pick mahogany so it matches the sole of the boots. Okay, so now I should only have 3 colors, but the stitch order is totally crazy. Oh, and the whole reason why we're doing this is to add, to frame a name. So we can type in, let's just do a single initial, and the best initial, which is J for Julie, and there we go. Okay, that looks pretty good. So let's save this, but before we save it, let's do a color sort, because the reason why we want to do a color sort is because look at this stitch order. That's bananas. All right, so we'll say Utility, color sort, put it in a new view, and now let's look at the stitch out. That is gorgeous. Okay, I like it. Not too bad. It's still under 4 inches and only 7,000 stitches. So that is how I would use just Essentials, and the only thing I did with Enthusiast is to create that initial wreath with the stars, which is not necessary. You could have done that manually, but it was just a lot of extracting elements from a larger design and bringing them into something new. So you can have a lot of new creative elements to stitch out, new creative designs, if you're just resourceful with the ones you already own. I hope you enjoyed this. Visit me on my website. If you haven't subscribed to the YouTube channel, please take a minute and do that, and head on over to Machine Embroidery Geek for some free files and some inspiration and fun. Bye.